Confirmation that UAPs are real came to me in January of 2015 when I was serving as the commander of the Navy Meteorology and Oceanography Command. At the time, my personnel were participating in a pre-deployment naval exercise off the U.S. East Coast. It included the USS Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group, and this exercise was overseen by the United States Fleet Forces Command, led by a 4-star admiral who at the time was also my superior officer. During this exercise, I received an email on Navy's secure network from the U.S. Fleet Forces Command. The email was addressed to all the subordinate commanders, and the subject line read in all capital letters, "Urgent Safety of Flight Issue." The text of the email was brief but alarming, with words to the effect, "If any of you know what these are, tell me ASAP. We are having multiple near mid-air collisions, and if we do not resolve this soon, we are going to have to shut down the exercise." Attached to the email is what is now known as the Go Fast video, captured on the forward-looking infrared sensor of one of the Navy F-A-18 aircraft participating in the exercise. The now declassified video showed an unidentified object exhibiting flight and structural characteristics unlike anything in our arsenal. The implication of the email was clear. The author was asking whether any of the recipients were aware of classified technology demonstrations that could explain these objects.
Well, hey there, my explorers of the unknown. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are embarking on an epic journey into one of the most strangest mysteries of 2025 so far. The metallic spheres that appeared in Buga, Colombia. Yeah, you heard that right. Metallic spheres that are flying around in Buga, Colombia. These bizarre objects have set the internet on fire, sparked heated debates, and left experts scratching their heads. Are they alien artifacts? I'm not sure. A secret government experiment? Possibly. Who knows? Or maybe there's something entirely different than all of that we just don't know. Anyway, grab a snack, settle in, and let's unpack this enigma together. It's going to be a pretty crazy wild ride, so let's get into it. Let's set the scene. It's March 2025, and life in Buga, a charming little town nestled in the Valle de Cauca region of Colombia, is humming along as usual, known for its stunning Basilica de Señor de los Milagros and its laid-back vibe. Buga isn't exactly the kind of place you'd expect to become ground zero for a global mystery. But that's exactly what happened when a blue and metallic sphere went flying through the sky. This wasn't some distant dot on the horizon. It was close enough for locals to capture it on their phones, zigzagging in ways that no drone or plane could pull off. Then it landed. And that's when the world started paying attention. Okay, so let's talk about the sphere itself, because the details are pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. It's about the size of a soccer ball, weighs roughly 4.5 pounds, and looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's made from 3 concentric layers of shiny, metal-like material. Think of it like a high-tech Russian nesting doll. You know those dolls that you keep taking out and there's just one more doll, one more doll, one more doll. It's like a lot of layers inside of a doll. Inside, there's a dense central core surrounded by 18 tiny microspheres, almost like a miniature planet orbiting a star. Scientists are calling this core a chip, hinting it might have some kind of function. But here's where it gets a little freaky. There are no welds, no joints, no seams. Nothing. For comparison, even the smoothest human-made objects, like a sleek car or a smartphone, have tiny imperfections if you look close enough. This sphere? Literally nothing. Perfectly smooth. That alone has people whispering about technology beyond our capabilities. And then there's the temperature thing. The outside was ice cold to the touch, like it's been sitting in a freezer, yet the inside was so scorching hot that water dropped on it turned to steam in an instant. I mean, how does that even work? Oh, and one more thing. The surface is etched with strange symbols. Think ancient runes, Celtic Ogham script, or cuneiform from Mesopotamia. An AI was brought in to decode them, and the translation it spit out is equal parts cryptic and poetic. The origin of birth through union and energy in the cycle of transformation, meeting point of unity, expansion, and consciousness, individual consciousness. Sounds like a riddle from a cosmic philosopher, right? Some folks think it's a wake-up call about climate change or human unity. Others, they're convinced it's a hello from extraterrestrials. To understand why this has people so worked up, let's take a step back for a minute and zoom out. UFO sightings aren't new. Think Roswell in 1947 or the Phoenix Lights in 1997. But the Buga Sphere feels different. Unlike those grainy, is it a weather balloon moments, we've got high quality footage and a physical object that anybody can study. Plus, Colombia's had its share of weird aerial phenomenon before. Back in the 1970s, pilots over the Andes reported seeing unexplained lights, and locals in rural areas have long shared stories of luces misteriosas, mysterious lights in the night sky. Could the Buga Sphere be the latest chapter in that story? Let's dig deeper a little bit. Naturally, the experts are divided. On team This Is Alien, we've got Dr. Jose Luis Velazquez, a radiologist who's been spearheading the investigation. He spent months poring over x-rays and data, and he's convinced this sphere isn't human-made. In a video posted on X by Truth Polex on May 6, 2025, he points out a seamless design, the layered structure, and those temperature anomalies. I've never seen anything like this, he says, hinting it could be artificial and not from this Earth. His team even suggested it might be a probe or a piece of tech left behind by an advanced civilization.
El jueves 1 de mayo del 2025, el señor Jose Luis Velazquez, especialista en rayos X, realizó una serie de sorprendentes pruebas a la esfera Buga, la cual cayó a tierra después de recibir una descarga de 10.000 voltios. Las imágenes obtenidas arrojaron resultados sorprendentes. En el interior se puede observar en el contorno en tonalidad blanca una densa capa que la rodea, lo que es indicativo de que es muy gruesa. En tonos más grises con menor densidad se aprecia otro material menos denso que confirmaría que la esfera no es hueca y explicaría su inusual peso, que se ha logrado documentar de manera inexplicable, es variable. Asimismo, se detectaron una serie de 16 puntos que rodean al núcleo. Esto se trataría de microesferas. Al mismo tiempo, se observó un elemento de tonalidad oscura que se distribuye en el interior de la esfera de Buga, que revela que este material sería el menos denso, quizá poroso.
La radiología es una herramienta no invasiva, como pudiste ver, solamente atravesó la pieza. Nos habla de dos densidades diferentes, tanto en una imagen positiva como en una imagen, esta es positiva, la otra es negativa, que denota una densidad de materiales diferentes, que sugiere que la pieza es una esfera externa más una parte interna. Aquí incluso si me acerco a la parte de este lado, hay otra densidad, ¿sí ven? Sí. Ahí se ve, la externa es una, luego hay otra capa más delgada, luego entramos a otra, luego entramos a otra. Hay como tres capas de diferente densidad.
También destaca la zona ecuatorial de la esfera, donde se contabilizaron 32 puntos distribuidos alrededor de la circunferencia. Asimismo, las observaciones en rayos X presentan que la distribución de los elementos es homogénea y que por su densidad pueden tratarse de metales. El investigador Nacho Rojo sugiere que por su composición, esta esfera pudo haber sido ensamblada precisamente para albergar en su interior esta clase de materiales. Se ha descartado toda posibilidad de que se trate de un objeto ornamental. De hecho, fue registrada desplazándose en el cielo sin elementos visibles que nos permitan entender cómo puede desplazarse en el aire. Asimismo, el investigador español señaló que no encontró en las imágenes evidencias de fragmentación o desprendimientos, lo que significa que la esfera de Buga se mantiene íntegra. Se apreciaron también los puntos que penetran la estructura de esta esfera en el área perimetral.
Concluyendo, doctor.
Es una pieza muy rara, diferente a lo que yo he radiografiado de diferentes cosas que he
¿Nunca
hecho.
había visto algo así?
Nunca había visto una pieza así. Te agradezco que me hayas invitado a radiografiarla, porque es una pieza única, con características muy sui generis. Pero justo ahí nos enfocamos y ahí no se ve que esto tenga soldaduras o uniones.
O sea, no hay soldaduras, no hay uniones.
A lo que yo he visto, mira, he tenido la oportunidad de radiografiar muchas cosas. Piezas de roca petrificadas, he trabajado para paleontólogos, para el INA, en esculturas, en relicarios, en cristos de caña, en obras de arte de madera, en obras en piedra, en levantamientos de antropólogos y en cosas de metal también he podido radiografiar. Esto se ve muy nítido y sí he visto soldadura y no hay evidencia de que haya aquí una unión o que esto esté soldado o unido.
En estos análisis preliminares, las observaciones de analistas e investigadores coinciden en señalar que su composición es compleja, que tiene un origen artificial, que no tiene evidencias de soldaduras y que se trata de una estructura interna integrada por elementos de alta densidad. Asimismo, coincidieron en apuntar que es necesario profundizar más en diferentes análisis y pruebas para establecer su origen y el cual podría provenir de las estrellas.
But not so fast. On Team Hold Your Horses, we've got Julia Mossbridge, a scientist from University of San Diego. She's throwing cold water on the alien hype, suggesting it could be an elaborate art installation. In an interview with Fox News, she said, "It looks to me like a really cool art project," and warned against jumping to conclusions without hard proof. She's pushing for the sphere to be examined by groups like Galileo Project, which hunts for evidence of extraterrestrial tech using rigorous science. Her take? Extraordinary claims need extraordinary evidence. And we're not there yet.
I think it's fascinating. I think that, so what I think is that we are entering, let me just frame this from a bigger picture, because this is a small part of a bigger picture, right? So we are entering a time when we are starting as humans to recognize we don't have the control that we thought we had over everything. I mean, I think humans got into this not very humble, sort of grandiose place where we were like, yeah, we got it all under control. We can make anything happen. We can do all the things. And I think what we are learning, I mean, my background's in cognitive neuroscience. I think a lot about how human beings think and the sort of mistakes we make. And one of the mistakes we can make is, because I think I understand this, everything I think today is true. My model of the world is true. And it ends up making us get very confused when something shows up that doesn't fit our model of the world. And so we already know the federal government has said, frankly, we've been looking at UAPs for decades. We haven't been telling you. Now we're telling you. There are things that we don't understand. We are investigating them. Now, there's lots of organizations like the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies, the UAP Disclosure Fund, the Galileo Project, that are made of people, all political persuasions, all scientific knowledge persuasions, trying to get rigorous information themselves, not necessarily waiting on the federal government, about what's going on in our skies, what's going on in our waters, and actually trying to get international cooperation around these things. Because, like this, for instance, the sphere in Colombia, it's in a different country. So what are the rules about how we deal with something that's interesting that's found there? Having said all that, the sphere itself seems like kind of like an art project of a human. The sort of argument is that they show a video floating above the town of a sphere. Now, spheres or balls have round shapes, have been maybe the majority of shapes in terms that have been reported since the 1940s of UFOs. So that's pretty common, are these round things, right? If you look back at Project Sign, SIGN, you can learn more about that. But there's no connection that's made between the thing that was floating and then the sphere that was found, right? So you have to be kind of careful about making conclusions. It looks to me like a really cool art project. That it reminds me of remember those obelisks of like smooth metal that were showing up in the desert in the US? Totally, I mean, could be the same artist. But it just opens up all these questions. So there's a truck going by. But it opens up all these questions, like, if an artist is doing this, why is that? Well, I think it's partly the same reason. It's because we're learning that we don't understand what's in our skies, what's in our waters, and there's something going on that's essentially bigger than us. And this thing that's bigger than us brings us up. Like artists' jobs, their job is to bring us up and to self-transcend us, to stop, I mean, in my view, to stop us from thinking that we're all the be-all, end-all, and there's nothing else. And kind of, it feels like this is an effort to bring us up. Now, whether that effort is an effort of human, I think it's a human intelligence that did this, but who knows? It needs to be more carefully investigated, obviously, than it has been. But it could also be non-human. It could be artificial intelligence. There could be all sorts of ways to look at it.
The media has been all over this, and honestly, it's a feeding frenzy at this point. The Daily Mail dropped the first X-ray images revealing those 3 layers and the microspheres inside. They also released a 51-second video titled UFO Sphere, showing it weaving through the sky before touching down in Buga. Seriously, check it out. It's wild. Meanwhile, on X, Truth Polex has been a gold mine, posting stabilized footage, close-up photos, and Dr. Velazquez full examination. That post alone has thousands of views and likes, with people arguing in the replies about whether it's real or fake. Big outlets like the Times of India and Hindustan Times have picked up the story too, with headlines ranging from alien sphere lands in Colombia to mystery object baffles scientists. But here's the kicker. As of May 27th, 2025, there's still no official statement from Colombian authorities or groups like NASA. The silence is deafening, and it's only fueling the speculation. So what's the truth? Let's play detective for a second and kind of go over what the theories are, okay? Theory number 1, it's an alien. Maybe it's a scout drone from a distant planet set to check on us or leave a message, something like that. The tech and the symbols could support that. Theory 2, it's a secret human project. Could a government or a private company have cooked this up in a lab, testing cutting-edge materials or propulsions? Could be. The lack of official comment might mean someone's covering their tracks. Theory number 3, it's art. Imagine some genius sculptor dropping this in the Buga just to watch the world lose its mind. Performance art on a global scale is crazy to think about, but it's possible. Not to mention they had those little stand-up columns that someone left in the desert that no one understood where those came from or who did those, and we still have no idea. Or maybe it's something we haven't even thought of yet. What's your guess? All right, let's bring it home. This mystery's got everything. I mean, it's got science, speculation, even a little bit of the supernatural. But the thing is we're still waiting for answers. We're still waiting for tests. We're still waiting for more scientists and more people to start recognizing that this could be something real. We don't have them yet. But what I do like about this is that it has everyone talking. It has everyone discussing this. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think this is aliens? Do you think that this is a government cover-up? Do you think that this is an art project, like a super elaborate one from some genius that was able to make it without any welds, without any like rivets, without anything like that? Let me know in the comments below. I'm reading every single one of them. I'm answering every single one of them. I personally have no idea what this is, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. I'll catch you in the next video. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. As always, remember to stay positive, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later, guys.